College football, high school football, there's been concern about preventing injuries in football, concussions, other types of injuries. I noticed you've been trying to decrease, get your whole team healthy to the opening day. What are some of the measures that you can do and team has done to kind of reduce the number of injuries?
Well, one of the things we've tried to do this camp is reduce the amount of time that we hit and play live football, where we're tackling people to the ground and we've got blockers that are blocking below the waist and end up on the ground. And I think a lot of the injuries happen when guys hit the ground. We've tried to decrease unnecessary collisions with the ground. That's number one. We have cut back the number of practices where we're in full gear, where there's scrimmage type situations, but not completely. And I think we've really got to evaluate where that fine line is between hitting enough and having enough live contact that we're prepared for it in a game, because I don't think you can not practice that way and expect to show up on September 1st and be able to tackle guys to the ground and block people to the ground. You got to do that some, but limited enough that we keep our team as healthy as possible. And that's been the challenge for us. We haven't had a healthy team and the same lineup from week 1 to week 12 in any of the seasons I've been here. And some of it, I'm sure, has to do with the intensity of preseason camp, the intensity of the way we practice throughout the year, because we continue to hit and block below the waist and tackle during the year. Again, I think that you've got to do that some in order to be able to do it effectively on Saturdays. But here at the academy, the academic load, the additional obligations that they have from a military standpoint make it really difficult to get the kind of rest that maybe a traditional college football player gets, or a football player at a traditional college would get. I know that's the case just in comparing the schools that I've coached at and here, and that doesn't. It's just different. It's just who we are. And so the things that our guys do in addition to their school responsibilities, and those are tough everywhere. And I've coached at some great colleges and coached guys who had very challenging academic loads, and Georgia Southern and Georgia Tech, and it's a challenge. But to add the football with that, and that's tough everywhere. And as coaches, we count on our guys to be there at practice and do their workouts and come to meetings, and we're all permitted that 20-hour work week, and we use it. But on top of that, the obligations as a military institution make this an entirely different place. So they aren't getting naps, and they're not off their feet, and they're not getting the natural rest that maybe everybody else gets. And that over the course of the year takes its toll at times, and it just I know sometimes they don't feel as well rested. So those are all things that we take into consideration on the front end now. So as we go through preseason camp, we consider, hey, what's it going to look like between September and December for them? Not just what we're doing right now, but what are they going to do on a continuing basis each day as a cadet? And so we've really tried to tailor our practices and our preseason camp with that in mind.